everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Theorist, here with your host, JC Botero67. This chapter of Tower of God, I've just got to say, it is so exciting, and I am just eager for next chapter already. Like that last part, which we will touch base on toward the end. The excitement, guys. The excitement. Okay. So let's, gradually get there. Okay. I need to calm down. All right, so, of course, we're taking a look at episode 277 of season 2 of Tower of God. So we start off with Rachel and Baum. That's where we left off last chapter, and basically we get a recap where Baum is kind of like, who is this? And, of course, Rachel recognizes Baum. And right now she's debating whether she wants to tell Baum that it's her or not. Because Baum had asked her, who are you? Did you kill that rat? And then in her thought bubbles, Rachel's asking herself, what should I say? Should I tell him that I'm Rachel? No, I can't. If I tell Baum the truth, it will be harder to use my advantage of being in that place. Well, I guess this place, really. For now, I have to meet Yura. Then I can make a deal with Baum or something. I'm Icarus. Icarus? Are you a data human? Probably. And I'm like, girl, you gotta be confident. What's this probably shit? Like, you're a smart girl. You can figure this out. I have faith in you. So then she's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm a data human. So you don't have to worry. I'm just an ordinary data human. So she gets all nervous, which is really bad. She even says here, I'm not a shady person at all. And Baum totally picks up on that. And he's just like, yeah, she seems kind of suspicious. So anyway, a scroll pops up for him. And it says, congratulations on clearing the stage, warrior. You have obtained the right to advance to the next stage. Use your measuring device to scan the mirror on the scroll and open the path to the next stage. It worked. The path to the next stage is open. So Baum's all like cute and excited about it. Rachel's kind of confused with what's going on. And then Baum he thanks her for killing off that rat. And then he's like, I'm sorry, I'm busy, gotta take off. And then she tries to hold him back, even though he ends up walking away, but she's really curious about this stage. So my thought is, okay, she's probably going to stick around with Baum and, kind of find out what this next stage is, instead of trying to find Yura. So that was my thought on that, and we'll see later on what happens. For now, we're jumping to Andrasi and Coffee Addict. Andrasi is getting irritated with Coffee Addict because he's not going into the quarantine area, but he insists that he feels something is wrong. And precisely when he says that is when Andrasi's sworn enemy pops up. So it's that snake dude whose nickname we come to find out is Snake Charmer. No surprise there. So she seems to recognize him. It's really funny, though, because the way that she reacts to this, she's kind of almost surprised that this is her sworn enemy, which hopefully we'll get, like, a better explanation later on. Oh, yeah, so this part cracked me up. Coffee Addict is all like, but that's strange. If it were your sworn enemy, you would have noticed. Plus, there's no way it would just be sitting there like that without any sign of hostility. So the moment he says that, a part of this snake charmer dude goes hostile. So there's like a big snake that's emerging and trying to attack them. But all these other snakes actually kill off that part of the snake charmer. So it's just a bizarre sworn enemy in general. I mean, we already experienced before, and I had already mentioned in a previous review that, he does a lot of talking. When you looked at Rock and Baum's sworn enemies, they didn't talk at all. So it just makes this sworn enemy very unique. And so even Coffee Addict is shocked with what's going on because he's like, it killed one of its own kind. Oh, okay, so this is a sworn enemy speaking. He says, this time this one lost control. Just relax. I'm killing any individuals that become hostile. This may be a virtual world, but I have no intention of harming you, princess, my jewel. So this guy just sounds like a creeper. And I mean, I really want to know the backstory behind this dude. Like, why does he hold Andrasi up in such high standards, I guess? Maybe he wants her to like rule the whole kingdom. I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to any backstory that we get on Snake Charmer or Snake Charmer and Andrasi later on. I love any thoughts that Coffee Addict has. I mean, this one's really interesting. Because it's composed of several individuals, does that mean it can control the overall body by eliminating hostile individuals? Is that possible? So what is it that you want? Which I'm not sure if it's Andrasi or Coffee Addict asking, but the sworn enemy in response says, take me with you on your journey. Okay, I'm assuming that it is Andrasi who asked that then. He says, I will help you, princess. Any of your enemies and anyone who does not get along with you, I will eliminate them for you. Like those guys in that quarantine area. So to me, going back to what was said before about like how he talks a lot, I feel like the Snake Charmer is more of the manipulative type of sworn enemy. And it almost seems like he will target and provoke anyone, because he's not targeting or provoking Andrasi, obviously. He already admitted himself, like, he doesn't want to harm her, he wants to help her, and, you know, he will kill anyone who gets in her way or tries to hurt her. So I don't know why he just decides to pick on Hansung, but it provokes Hansung enough to the point where Hansung wants to kill the Snake Charmer. But Andrasi holds him back from doing so. But it's really interesting. Actually, I do want to talk about the conversation that Snake Charmer and Hansung have. So Snake Charmer is like, I feel sorry for you. It seems as though I've ruined your game. And I mean, this upsets Hansung, because to him, it's not a game. Like, he was really trying to help these people out of the quarantine area. But this piece of crap Snake Charmer is trying to tell him otherwise. So he says, I know that the reason you tried to help them escape from the quarantine area is not because of friendship or pity for them. You simply wanted to escape more perfectly. You wanted to leave the quarantine area created by the big breeder in an optimal state. If you bring them out with you, you would feel an even greater sense of achievement. I know people like you very well, born with abilities superior to others. You sometimes act as though you're helping people weaker than yourself. I guess you could call it a kind of game, masquerading as kindness. To you, helping them escape was merely just a game. And so, so this is the part where he tries to kill him, but Andrasi stops him, and then she's like, I'm pretty sure you can feel it too, that he's completely different from us. So Andrasi is actually okay with him coming along with them, since he promised that he wasn't going to hurt her and would rather help her. And so what worries me, and I was going to talk about this like at the end of the chapter, but I guess I can talk about it now. What worries me is that this dude will, kind of backstab Andrasi. It's almost like he's, again, manipulating her right now, because that's what he seems to do. So he's kind of making her trust him, but then I feel like he'll backstab her later on, which I'm hoping does not result in any death on Andrasi's part. That would crush me. But yeah, I feel like there could be betrayal later on. I mean, SIU's a troll. I mean, we should already expect some kind of betrayal to happen at some point. But I do want to pause on this image real quick. So there's this thing that's on the head of a snake, and it seems to kind of take all the snakes into that little device, which Andrasi will pocket up. All right, so then they head back to town, and it's so funny here. Boro is just like trying to make sense of everything that's happening. So he's like, so what you're saying is, this is the hidden floor. Sachi and I have been here before. You guys came to this place to meet the data of Zahard that's here. The big breeder actually works for Zahard, and he made us complete a fake quest to try to stop us from finding Zahard. But that rat just now was actually the real villain of the grand quest. So then Kuhn's like, you understand. And he's like, understand? He's like, would all of that make sense to you if you were suddenly hearing it? Which Baro brings up a good point. I mean, that's a lot to take in. So I don't blame him for getting a little bit upset. Anyway, Baum comes back. He has a scroll in hand, of course, so they're ready to move on to the next stage. And then shortly after he shows up, Andrasi and Hansung have come back as well. And so Baum asks him, oh, what about the people from the quarantine area? Hansung basically says that they have died, but, he will go ahead and explain that later on. Right now, the main goal is to get on to the next stage, and therefore he will go get Battis right now. So he finds Battis, and again, Battis asks the same question to Hansung about the people from the quarantine area. And he basically tells him the truth. I mean, there's no avoiding it. I personally thought that Battis wasn't going to take it well, just because he just dealt with Rose's death, so more people that he cares about having died just now would be pretty impactful. But he seems to take it okay. And I mean, I've got to admit, Battis is probably my favorite character from this entire Hidden Floor. Because I just love reading up on what he has to say. So I do want to start with Hansung first. He's apologizing. And it's almost as if he took the snake charmer's words to heart. It's like he himself is even admitting, you know what, maybe it was a game to try and get these people out of the quarantine area, but not. And it's just really sad to see him in this position. But anyway, we'll go on and read. So Hansung starts, I'm sorry, I couldn't keep my promise to everyone. Maybe I thought of helping you all escape as a kind of game. I actually had a more important goal than that, and saving you all ended up becoming a small goal along the way. But on the inside, maybe I thought I could give up on that. Maybe I thought of it as a kind of test that would be difficult to pass. I'm sorry, Battis. So here I thought Battis would get upset, that Hansung himself is admitting, oh, this was a game. I didn't really want to help these people. I was just, focused on me. But Battis is very understanding. I mean, I think this is kind of the reason why I love this character. Because here he says, it's okay. You haven't done anything wrong. And Hansung's confused. He's like, Battis? And Battis continues, we're just data human anyway. They'll all come back to life when the next warriors arrive. Rose, too. At some point, our life and death, everything started seeming like a joke. Ever since Big Breeder took control of everything. When those guys come back to life again, I'm going to take back this town from Big Breeder so that they don't have to live in a world like that anymore. That alone would be enough. And I mean, you can see how heroic and how selfless Battis is. Not to say that Hansung isn't. I mean, I don't know if, maybe Snake Charmer was right to say that about Hansung, because even Hansung is admitting to it. But, just seeing Battis, again, he's a data human, but he seems more human than humans do. So it's just such a great trait on Battis, and that's what I love about this character. So anyway, enough about that. Battis, Hansung, and Battis' daughter Medley proceed to head out to meet up with the rest of the group. So then Coffee Addict tells them that they're going to go ahead and go on to the next stage. Of course, Rachel is eavesdropping. And again, she's having debates with herself like, oh my gosh, should I tell them I'm Rachel? But then how do I explain the whole me looking different and all this? So, eventually she does make a run for it because they have scanned that mirror thing on the scroll in order to activate their passageway to the next level. And, Rachel doesn't want to miss out on it, so she's running after them. So this is where it gets interesting. This is the part that I was excited about in the beginning. Okay, so this voice speaks to them as soon as the scroll is activated. People from the outside, congratulations on passing the stage. You have all obtained the right to proceed to the next stage. Please choose which of the following stages you wish to go to. So their options are Sweet Castle or Cold Land. Baum is kind of unsure of which to choose, so Hansung steps in and he's like, hold on, I'll do it. We don't want to end up in the wrong one. I know the shortest stage route to get to Kun Edwan. Guys, Kun Edwan. Daddy Kun, okay? Kun's father. This is exciting shit right here because I've been wanting for the longest time to meet this character, to see his face. It's going to happen. Maybe not next chapter because SIU's a troll, but upcoming. Pretty soon. All right. So Kun is just beyond shocked. He's like, what? Kun Edwan? He's like, wait a minute. You mean the data of the family leader you're trying to meet is? And then Han Sung is just all casual and shit. He's like, ah, yes, the leader of the Kun family. The data of Kun Edwan. And I mean, Kun is still in shock. This is like the last panel of the chapter, and he's just wide-eyed, just not believing this at all. I mean, you would imagine that Kun Edwan is probably not the greatest person, especially because Kun does want to take over as family head. So, again, as we've seen Han Sung here, he's different from... Okay, data human Han Sung is different from actual Han Sung. So we're either going to meet a Kun Edwan that is different from the real one, and I mean, that's probably a shocker to Kun as well, or we could already see Kun Edwan as he is present day, even though we haven't met him yet, but I think it would be interesting to see flashbacks of Kun Edwan based on Kun's perspective. So that's another way to kind of, you know, be able to compare, I guess, actual Edwan with data human Edwan. So again, guys, I'm pretty excited, and I hope you guys are too, because this is a character I've been dying to meet for a while. And just to sum up this chapter with my potential theories, like I mentioned before, I have a feeling that the Snake Charmer will backstab Andrasi, because he's pretending to be good right now, you know, spouting all these lies of like, oh yeah, I want to help you, I'm not going to harm you, I'll hurt anyone who decides to harm you though. But I feel like he will show his true colors later on, and I'm really hoping, again, for a flashback of Snake Charmer or Andrasi with Snake Charmer. And then Rachel, honestly, you know, is she able to make it onto the next stage with them? I would think so, especially because Han Sung delayed Bomb from choosing between their two options that they have for the next stage, because he knows the shortcut, as he had mentioned before. So I think Rachel had a chance to catch up, and therefore will be joining them on this next stage. The question lies in whether she will reveal to the group who she is or not. I have a feeling maybe she'll just... I mean, she already told Bomb that she's Icarus, so it's not like she can really switch it up and be like, yeah, I'm actually Rachel. Like, it's just kind of weird. But all we can hope for is that she doesn't get nervous again, because I'm pretty sure Kun and Andrasi, if they suspect anything with this girl, they'll want to kick her out. But you know how Bomb is. Bomb's a sweetheart. He's selfless. He loves people. So because Rachel had helped defeat that final rat in order to get them to this next stage, I feel like Bomb would kind of stand up for her and be like, hey, yeah, like, she should join us. Like, this is what happened. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on in this chapter. I mean, I could probably keep talking more about it, but I don't want to bore you guys. So we'll just leave it at that, and I look forward to next chapter. So I'll catch you guys in that review. Peace.